There literally are no words. Look over upon the facts. No stripping. Yes. No fouls. Yes. No frills. Yes. Paint. Sweat. Cheers. Rinse. Repeat. Carefully skin, carefully game.
Quarterfinal in this World Cup goes tonight in Kansas City, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, 6 Pacific, Argentina against Switzerland on TSN, CTV and Craig, the third all-time World Cup meeting between these two nations. Argentina winning the previous two. As we continue back to Miami, where Jude Bellingham's late goal tied things up for England, 1-1 against Norway.
Say hi to the Lees and their newest family member, the Kia EV5s. Gordon has a lot to do and appreciates looking great while doing it. And Sophia is sporty, very sporty. When she's not on the field, she's gaming on it. All five get what they want in the EV5 and a little more. Kia, movement that inspires.
Making noise. Make purchases with the Scotiabank Passport Visa Infinite Plus card to earn C Plus points faster and take your tradition to new places.
Also,
People will try anything to make their beer cold. Fire hats, use outdoor fridges, freezers too. Oops, that's what the Coors Light bottles turn out. Because people don't just like beer, people like cold beer.
Prep. Anticipate. Celebrate. Repeat. Carefully ski as you care for the game. A dove man. What are you thought? No, I was on my phone. Of all the times to be on your phone. Can you blame me? No one's having said it.
So Norway took the lead through shot drop in the 36th minute. The 22-year-old from Benfica scoring his second international goal. Erdogan with the assist, and then Jude Bellingham with his fifth goal of this World Cup. 11 international goals for Bellingham, 8 of the World Cup or Euros. He tied things up in the first minute of stoppage.
Yeah, he did a little bit of relief for England, but I don't think that they'll be taken in this job as well. I think there'll be some choice ones within that dressing room here, and England will have to be a bit better in the second half. Norway will be pretty comfortable. They'll want to get into a little bit more service to happen, but it's in the balance. I mean, we think England have got too much ball in the second half, Kate, but it's pretty open.
Yeah, I think that Haaland only 6 touches maybe in that first half, but that certainly won't make him lose any confidence. I think that's his game. 2 of those touches in the box, so I think he'll be looking for the team to play a little bit closer to in the second half. Steve, they can Norway play taking off further forward. That might leave them open a little bit exposed, but I expect them to be able
Saka is coming on fire. Malik is going off. Beautiful. As expected, Malik is definitely did no things.
Fit enough to start the game, but the changes come out of the break, and you have to say, Mark Schwarzer, positive looking substitutions from Thomas Tuchel's point of view. Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously, thinking about something, it must be definitely related to the obviously something. Hasn't really seen things quite the same that we've seen so far in this tournament.
He did bench Anderson.
Substitution, really understand it.
He did bench Anderson.
Probably hasn't been involved, and I think Thomas Tuchel probably wanted to take on. A few more times that's that first half and he didn't. So I certainly got to work after a bit more down the right hand side. Well, the countdown to the second half is on here. And I'll check if the watch from referee Tom Turner.
Second half, let's go.
5 minutes for either of these two to take the pace in the World Cup semi-finals and get ready for a trip to Atlanta, Georgia. On Wednesday, of course, we may need an additional 30 minutes, and there is the prospect, ultimately, of penalty kicks if required. All to play for here. It'll be interesting to see how England line up, whether it's June running in driving back into the Denver ice position, and Richie Eze up front, or if we go to 2 number 10s. And so in the song one, same thing with midfield, that makes it more likely the case as this game starts in the second half. And Anderson dropping deep to collect possession into Bellingham, who finds O'Reilly. Was that goal from Norway, and the reply from Bellingham, just what England needed to kickstart them really into life in this game. Kane is foul. The free kick from England's point of view is in a decent spot. Therefore, a positive start from England. The first 45 minutes of the game is off. There is a for each camp is always an interesting one. He's right on the spot, sets him straight away. And Hamilton has the experience. This is the third World Cup that he's refereed matches at. This is his 4th game of this tournament. Second time he's taken charge of a match involving England here in the United States this summer. Rice taking his spot in the dugout for the second half. He's certainly been struggling. He's had a neural issue as well, which he's been managing for quite a while. So he's been playing in quite a lot of pain actually during this World Cup. Never mind the start upset and the illness that he's suffered since the trip to Mexico last weekend. So an early opportunity perhaps here for England. Richie Eze, only just onto the field, having come off the bench at half-time, strikes it, and the deflection comes off Anthony Gordon behind for a goal kick for Ian Nealon. Should be fresh, Eze. He played for 55 minutes in total here at the World Cup. That's a very positive substitution, bringing on as a second half, considering you're taking off definitely nice not even Mikey, you're looking to try and be a little more offensive, certainly through the middle.
Still does not make sense.
Cutting through the middle as big and wider. Harlan having quite a tussle there with Anderson, and very quickly on the spot. Calm everything down, and Wise having the game to continue. And the feeling the first half handbrake will come off a little bit more now. Mark, 45 to go. Yeah, I think both sides are turning into this game, of course, of England. I think having a half-time break, I'm sure Thomas Tuchel will be a lot more encouraging of going forward, being a little bit more thoughtful, taking a bit more care of the ball, but also doing it quicker in that transition, rather than just blowing the ball and slowing the pace of the game down. O'Reilly quickly in Alexander Sorloth, pressure on Maria Son. This is Christopher Hyatt. Now, Timber Torbjorn Hengen into shoulder. Sunderberg to help out in defence.
Terribly often in this match so far. He's looking for Haaland. For Jordan Pickford, who looks for England's goal scorer, Jude Bellingham. There's a much greater intensity and pace here, and more lovely play from Bellingham. He'll bring Saka into the game. Could have seen enough in the first half with Saka on the bench.
Really once again from Jude Bellingham. Great skills, like ball control.
Bellingham furthest forward through the middle as well, and then over there inside the D on the edge of the penalty area. This is Ponce into Anderson. Gay. O'Reilly getting forward. Opening up in front of Alexander Sorloth. England chasing back. Haaland's touch. They're going for it. Brilliantly done by Eza. England suddenly turning the tables. Saka, first chance to deliver something in the penalty area. Goes for goal. The block is made by Wolfen.
Yeah, cheeky, that ball across the face of the goal. When he cuts back on his left, he's got to try and find that far post area. So he goes for that shot in the end post, that's quite easily covered.
Tension's going to grow with every passing minute here in this quarter final. Look at the advantage and the space gained by Berger. Away to the far side, and well, it ended up being a little bit closer than it might have done because Sorloth thought that he made a bit of a hash of it.
Yeah, he certainly did. Just kicked it. Almost like England was expected to cover that. This is going to be the challenge for England with a two more offensive number 10 to Bellingham staying forward. There's a forward. Obviously, this is the only one that's staying deeper. Or a man short in that regard. So have to be very careful. So that's very aware of that. Wide by the left on that needs to tuck in. Someone needs to come back and help out in defence.
Sizable section of Norwegian fans gathered behind the goal to which they are kicking in this second half. First chance for Norway to apply some pressure, and England's captain Harry Kane with a firm nod clear of his penalty area. Grayson, good looking ball, Haaland.
Yeah, didn't look James for Haaland. Or slightly going away from him. Does well to adjust and get a decent out goal. Gets to the end. Not like a nice word underneath him. He just gets his target right at the end.
Well, there's his dad, Alfie Haaland, looking on. Former player as well. Erling Haaland was actually born in England because his dad was playing there at the time, so born in Leeds. Here's his delivery. And just needed a touch which could easily have diverted it into Pickford's net.
Yeah, good delivery. One of the few we've had from set play so far in this game. Weston's delivery that near post area was very, very good. Sorloth against the touch. Almost falls for the far post.
Yeah, Torbjorn Hagen was just a couple of yards in front of the ball by the time it reached him. England penned in, and referee Turpin has spotted something he's not happy with. Now he's ready. Anderson's trying to keep tabs on Haaland, ends up on the ground. And the shot is so good!
Come on.
Couldn't get it clear from the corner. And for the second time in the match, it is Norway who have the advantage.
That's a big moment of the game, isn't it? Delivery again, consistent pressure on the England goal. Another good delivery into the box. And Hayden's the one that reacts the quickest in the end. And it's a good finish. Yes, he's a bit fortunate with the ball. Falling straight to him. He starts to adjust really well.
There was a tussle, I think, before the ball actually came in. Watch Elliot Anderson here going down. That was before the ball even came into the box.
Oh, offside. Offside.
Well, there he was. Johnny on the spot. Torbjorn Hegger with his first ever international goal. The check is ongoing to confirm the goal will stand or otherwise. It is being looked at by Jerome Brisard and the team in the VAR hub.
It'll be interesting to see how they see this one. The referee's going to be asked to look at it, I think.
Referee's going to come and have a look. It has to be for the challenge on Anderson. It clearly went down after tussling with Haaland.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because we've seen so much in this tournament where players go to the ground, the referee more often than not has allowed play to continue.
That's what the referee is looking at. Well, he needs everyone to stand back. This is the view of Clement Turpin, who has seen enough already. We await his verdict, which will be just a few moments away. Big moment in the game, this. Which way will it go?
Review. Number 9 of Norway. Push the defender before the ball was played.
The foul by Haaland on Anderson.
Good man, we take it.
Stays at 1-1. Norway left frustrated.
Too much in it, too big a push from Haaland. And the referee saw there was a bit of a shot beforehand, and then two hands ready in his chest, and it hits Anderson's chest. He shot him out of the way.
So the referee disallows the goal, but the corner kick will be retaken. Presumably because the foul happened before the ball had been put into play.
Yes. That's why we got back to retake the corner. That's why the new rule change. By refereeing these corner kicks.
Well, England are not out of the woods yet on this set play. Well, if Norway get up their sleeves here now. Good pressure for England to try and deal with. It was aimed towards Haaland, and Bellingham with a little time to send it forward. Norway will get the throw. And Julian Reyersson, the right back, is down and will, it would seem, require some treatment potentially here. Reyersson not looking terribly comfortable at the moment. Played just over an hour against Brazil. This is the third start that he's made at the World Cup. Didn't play in the match before that, and it would appear that there's every chance that Norway might have to make a change here. Well, some of the great and good are watching on there. Something of a who's who of FIFA legends from over the years inside the stadium today. Players taking every available opportunity to cool down here in the humidity of Miami. Well, Reyersson has the demeanour of a man who might be about to depart the stage here.
Yeah, it looks like he is. A bit of substitution ready.
what's going to happen. We're about to see Frederick Arshness of Benfica. He started 10 matches in the Champions League this past season, and he comes off the bench for the third time in a row in the knockout stages. An experienced player, central midfielder, Frederick Arshness. Norway, Bellingham just losing control of the ball. O'Reilly's under pressure. Odegaard's pass in towards Sola, but O'Reilly, the pace of youth, enabling him to get back and claim the ball for England. This is Anthony Gordon. Gay looking for Bellingham, having quite the tussle with Christopher Hyer. Berger steps in. Here now is Heger, who thought he scored.
Yeah, you see the momentum shift a little bit. Norway certainly on the up. That goal's rattled England once again. We'll see it a second time.
They come Norway with a renewed purpose. Berg's ball back to Berger. Odegaard. Ball to Arshness. Winners of 4 matches already in this World Cup. It's the first time they've won that many games in the finals. They've won 2 of their first 8 at the World Cup over the years before their trip to the USA this summer. Looking for the first win against a fellow European nation at the World Cup, Norway. Neil, who's been with Sevilla the last 3 years, but just left them this summer, having spent most of the season on the bench. Arshness, the makeshift right back, Sola, strong under pressure. Odegaard harassed a little deeper, but that was very composed indeed, and picking out shoulder, and Arshness now venturing forward. In the middle. Patrick Berg up there on the end of the box too. Odegaard looks for an opening. Looks to put it on a plate for somebody. Over it comes. Anderson's there. It had gone beyond the byline.
Yeah, it's time that Norway went out with their ideas. Slow the pace down.
As quite a similar frustrating end to the match for him. FIFA's president watching on there with the upcoming Crown Prince of Norway. It was out of his seat a few minutes ago, thinking that his country were leading by 2 goals to 1, as we all did at the time. England looking to try and get Saka into the game.
What's the balance a little bit? Bellingham is being so far forward, he's trying to control the midfield by himself with a deep line. Well, once Norway beat that first press, Baker's a room into.
Looking for the challenge on Bellingham. Instead, denied the opportunity to take the kick quickly, much to his frustration. Up in there, the Norway's coach, and I think he'll be very pleased with the way his team have acquitted themselves so far in this match. Swept forward off the boot of Anderson. Anthony Gordon. And then back for the goal kick.
Just the ball over the top.
Alessandro Del Piero, bottom right. Papas in there, Arsene Wenger at the back, Cesc Fabregas, back left as well. Yuri Jorge, Cafu. It's a who's who. Moves it away from the traffic a little bit. There's some room for Anthony Gordon here. Payne's in the middle. Eza on the edge of the box too. Gordon's done well. What's the delivery like? Not bad. Payne under pressure and losing out. And sent on its way by Sheldon. Pickford's going for a walk. Joe Stones.
Sheldon done really well. It looks like that's his first touch. He can line up for a strike on goal. The Sheldon is really quick to react. It's that intelligent challenging.
As expected, it's going to be a tight one either way. This quarter-final between these two. Remember, it's Argentina or Switzerland for the winners. That match will be in Atlanta on Wednesday. The first semi-final, France against Spain. Now, Portugal encountering Dallas on Tuesday. See activity down on the bench for Norway. And Alexander Solo is going off. We're going to see Antonio Nusa coming on. And we're also going to see Oscar Bob of Manchester City. Oscar Bob coming on. So Solo makes way. Bob is on. And Andreas Schöberl is the other player going off. He was brought in instead of Nusa for this game. So two attacking changes by Solbakken as well there for Norway, Mark.
Yeah, everyone's still committed to going forward. Good share of possession, good momentum for this second half. Hopefully, we're sort of find the end of it. Atlantic Wheeler and half, and Norway very, very positive.
Today, for three-quarters of the way through the game, Norway 1, England 1.
If I eat Poulet Rouge every day and change like one topping each time, how long would it take to taste everything? Centuries?
We've removed the full HST on new homes and cut municipal fees, saving you up to $200,000 on a new home. It's just one way we're taking action today to make homes more affordable tomorrow. We're building homes faster by cutting red tape and partnering with municipalities to build more homes. Because by making housing more affordable today, we can get more families in more homes tomorrow.
Just look at the way he turns the defender and gets away. He just couldn't quite get hold of that one. What an occasion. What drama here for these fans.
20 minutes coming up for these two sets of players, and Reece James is coming on for England to replace Anthony Gordon. Reece James, who's been out with a hamstring injury, started the first two games, hasn't played since then, but is on for what remains of this one. So James slotting into midfield here, presumably to shore things up a little bit in a defensive midfield role.
Yeah, you think so? I think that's certainly something that they've struggled a little bit in the second half. They're through number 10s. I think you can always try to get them further forward. They did very well in the first half. They're coming on, making sort of similar sort of runs as well. I'm really on Reece James. He's the one that's going to be in the midfield. He's the one that's going to be trying to just mop up a little bit.
Well, this is going to have more space, isn't he, on that far side on the England left now, where he's taken up his position. Into being pressured by Odegaard. First touch for Reece James, almost giving the ball away. Needs to get up to speed pretty quickly here.
Yeah, that's what they want to do.
Anderson chasing hard up against the strong physical presence of Christopher Ayer. That was really good defending there by Ayer. With Hagen, now Ayer. There was solid look about Norway's central defensive area, backed up of course by Sanderberger. Sniffing around, nothing for him in terms of goal scoring opportunity really in this second period. Level here in this one now, but they have finished quite strongly in their matches here. They've scored 5 goals in the last 20 minutes of this World Cup. It's kicked away by Neil. Joy for England.
So the gambles almost pays off, and then when they feel like he's got control pretty comfortably, just can't get his feet on again.
O'Reilly finds Etta. England haven't really had a spell in the ascendancy since half-time. And they turn the momentum of the game a little bit their way after a good start for Norway. France has got one forward here ahead of Samuel. Here's Reece James now, sending it in. Oshus with the header clear. Challenge made by Mark Gay, who stays on the ground, slow to get up. Oshus now breaking clear. Haaland waits in the middle, of course he does. Thompson close to it. Here's Oscar Ball trying to tiptoe past it. O'Reilly, and that's just kindly for England.
There you go, O'Reilly. Once again, does very, very well. Stays to his feet, doesn't dive in. It's a vital reception. Vital challenge. So
Mark Gay was really frustrated actually.
he's got a room to shot, I think. Certainly a room to sock.
Which he's now showing to the referee. Almost managed to have a shot on target in the second half officially here so far. There's a terrific ball in towards Haaland. Big header away by Gay. England haven't got the danger clear. Erling Haaland looks to provide a good run by Patrick Burr. Header clear from Ponsa. Antonio Musa. Norway looking really lively. Ponsa's there again for England. It will be a corner though. This is impressive for Norway.
It's nice to right back for England. And Conser deals with the threat very, very well. Stays to his feet once again. They know any touch can bring down and be a penalty.
Well, John Terry and Ashley Cole were key defensive players for England for a good many years. But like Thomas Tuchel, they can only watch on at this moment in time, with England under pressure as we head towards the final 15 minutes of this World Cup quarter-final. Berg's ready to take, and making sure everyone's behaving themselves. tension in the stadium. Over it comes from Patrick Berg. Pickford tries to get to it. Bushness doubles it back in. There's a win. Oh, tucked in for England. Oh, that goes for goal. And for once, can't quite find it. England under extreme pressure. Conser gets up with an uncomfortable limp.
Yeah, delivering the box is another one, another good one. John Victor does well. Just can't quite get the distance on it. The rebound off the crossbar, you feel like there's a big chance. But Norway just can't capitalise. England have been holding on. Really good last-ditch defending from England.
Payne stretching. 76 minutes in, England without an attempt for a good while now in this second half. O'Reilly making tracks down the far side, but again, good defensive play, and Frederick Archbus has got up to the speed of the game really quickly, having come on to replace Reason. Easy header away from Burn. O'Reilly playing it past Bob. This is Eze. Stones. Lewis certainly got plenty of attacking flair on the pitch. Just need to find it in the middle of it. No joy for Saka. Good play from Gay. Up against Harder. Anderson. In from Eze, looking for Kane. Hegel there first. Sneaking beyond everyone at the far post as Saka comes out and Anderson was almost on the end.
Yeah, that's the top of what we need. Really good delivery from Saka, unfortunately just off target. Anderson couldn't get to it, was always going to wait for him, just needed a touch. That's so good to defend against. Quality of the ball is excellent. It's just that height, very difficult to defend against. Players' chance off the crossbar. It's a big moment for Norway. England defending for their lives.
Just what they might have to do here as Haaland sends it back towards Berger. Kane tries to get involved. Berger has it for Norway. They continue to play really well here at this World Cup. Their first World Cup final since 1998. First visit of the century to the tournament. Really making their presence felt. Still with an excellent chance of reaching the semi-finals. David Wolfer into Berger. Odegaard. Bushness. Haaland's just loitering near the penalty spot, feigning disinterest, ready to burst into life. Oscar Bob. Berg. There's a confidence about Norway.
Yeah, it's been playing a bit of freedom as well. Wasn't the tempo of the game. Dealt with the pressure well. A more threatening side in the second half.
Antonio Musa looks to create an opening. It's a decent looking ball that hangs in the air, and O'Reilly getting there.
Yeah, he overloaded the far post. Odegaard making that run. Then Musa, O'Reilly once again alerts the danger.
Lucia finds Berger. Here's Harshness. Oscar Bob waiting patiently. Far side, plenty of red shirts. Coming forward now. Bob looks to try and pick the lock of England's defence. Can't get it past Reece James. Bellingham with the header away. There's it under pressure. Here's Patrick Berg. England all appealing. And Reece James not quite managing to win the ball back. Space in midfield here for Berger and then for Antonio Russo, who's seen plenty of the ball in the short time he's been on the pitch. It's going to be another corner for Norway here.
It's been pretty persistent, hasn't it, from Norway? Morally putting more pressure on the ball.
There's Magnus Carlsen, a Norwegian chess player and World Cup winner. As Patrick Berg prepares to take this corner. Patrick Berg of Berger Glimt, of course, who've had such an excellent couple of seasons in the European competitions. Everybody back within 12 yards of their own goal here in white. Berg's delivery, Kane's header away. Odegaard. And the improvisation not quite working on this occasion.
Yeah. Poor delivery from Odegaard here, and his quality. What's on the ball, just tries a little bit of a clever one over the top.
83rd minute of the game, and you have to say, in this second half, Norway have looked more like it. It's half an hour since England's last attempt on goal, which was from Micalo. And it is he who's trying to get hold of the ball deep inside Norway's half. Falls favourably for Berger and for Neelan, who's had a very quiet second period. Martin Odegaard. Skolshness on the far side, Norway's through it. The change coming for England with Jed Spence ready to come on. He came on in Mexico in the last match and performed well. 12th cap will be coming up for him shortly, and he will replace Nico O'Reilly. That's what we're expecting. Norway, meanwhile, are looking to get on the front foot once again here. And Nusa trying to show England's defenders a clean pair of heels. Antonio Nusa challenged by Saka. Back up there from Berg. Collected by Wolfer. Bergen, who will leave it for others. Not least Odegaard. Harshness. Another lively figure of Oscar Bob. Space for Sanderberg. And for Lusa. England penned in here. Lusa brings the save.
Yeah, a real threat happening. Oscar Bob on the right hand side, Lusa on the left hand side. A lot of energy, a lot of pace, hence probably why there's going to be a substitution. Jed Spence, fresh legs. Look at O'Reilly's playing very well. He's defended very well.
He's going to make them press.
Just a little bit of freshness now.
Norway saw off Brazil in the round of 16, and England have found it tough here against a strong Norwegian side. Remaining plus added time. Norway have scored in 3 of their 5 games in the last 5 minutes so far here at this World Cup. So they come on strong late, it will see. Here comes that England change. As David Beckham watches on, Jed Spence is going to come on to replace Nico O'Reilly.
Freshness down the left hand side, pace. There's also some defending to do. Oscar Bob's been mentioned. Attacks for Norway down the right-hand side.
Haynes had nothing to work with, has he, in this second half? England have sporadically threatened, but not really carried a great offensive threat since half-time.
Well, I feel that England's substitutions certainly haven't had the effect in the game like Norway's have. And that for me at the moment has been the biggest difference. Norway have not been afraid of attacking into England. The momentum swing controlled the large parts of this second half. It's to really try and do something with these fresh legs or fresh air legs on the pitch.
So looking to switch the play, and Ryan, where he is at the far side, is Anderson. First touch for Spence off the bench. Now James. Stones has scored in the World Cup before. Saka. And you find a way past Northern Wolfer. Oh, he can. Super play from Saka. Was it almost? And defeated. At the far post, Kane was there too, and Norway survived what could have been a really nasty moment.
Oh, what a great touch. You see, Saka on the ball, taking the game to the defender, trying to take him on, gets him really well down the right-hand side, gets to the touchline, ball across is really good, and the Chiefs do not react.
Also did pretty well there as well, and suddenly England have got a corner with 3 minutes to go of the 90.
The try's really good. To get the ball across the face, such a dangerous area. Kane and Eza very late to react.
Well, I credit Frederick Lodge was there, the substitute, who did superbly well. Kane's only touched the ball apparently once in Norway's penalty area in the whole match so far. Over it comes Fraser. Pushed by Kane. Referee was right there, looking straight at it.
No frustration from Harry Kane.
Luis Suarez, of course, who plays his football for Inter Miami. This is a local match for him these days. We're going to have another change here for England. Morgan Rogers of Aston Villa is going to come on to replace his clubmate, Ezri Konsa. So, England are going for it here. Reorganisation on the hoop from Thomas Tuchel, which is being relayed to the players out on the pitch. But if England go out, they're not going to go out wandering, and Reece James will, of course, just slot in on the right-hand side of the back line.
Yeah, just a bit of a reshuffle there. Well, Rogers then replacing Reece James in the midfield area. And swap there. Reece James also very versatile. Constantly playing that right full-back position.
Marcus Pedersen has come on for Norway to replace David Wolfer as well. Pedersen on Torino, who scored in the 3-2 win against Senegal on the second match day. He is a right back who's slotted in on the left-hand side at the moment. Haaland's header. Bob's touch away to the far side. Connected by Odegaard. Getting him on the ball as much as possible. He's a real creative force in this Norwegian side. And again has the ball now. Oscar Bob. Good running by Arsenal, is getting there ahead of Eza. Beaten away by Jordan Pickford. Jeff Spence. Into Kane. Picking up Billy. So on the chase for Spence. He's got plenty of speed up against Aya, but Aya had the head start.
Yeah, I want to ask for Jeff Spence.
Super play from him. Almost paid off in the most extraordinary fashion against Roy in the year.
Yeah, that's a great one from Jeff Spence. Just does not give up. He gets so close. Well, they're very fortunate.
He's animated, tries to on the touchline. big few minutes here at the World Cup for these two sets of players. One moment of inspirational quality, or one mistake here could change everything. Spence under pressure. Gay car sent on its way by Anderson towards Eze. In added time here, we've still got roughly 6 minutes or so to go. Norway with more attempts on goal and far more on target as well. Just the one from England, from Jude Bellingham right at the end of the first half. 6 matches so far, gone to extra time in the knockout stages of the World Cup. Are we about to get a seventh, or is there to be a late twist as it's whipped into the box? Kane can't collect it. Norway are able to move the ball clear of danger. Now Odegaard is having a very productive time along with his match wears on.
Yeah, Hurricanes looked slow reacting. Felt they could have got a bit better and try and control that ball. Breaks down and Norway once again.
They're leaning on him a lot, aren't they, Norway? Odegaard.
Yeah, he's going to be enough for him. So important for him. Always, you see him using the goal. Always makes himself available.
Just to try and win the ball. Quite correctly there, the assistance on the near side. Acknowledging they've got so far on the defender.
Yeah, they're just rolling the ball way too long. Hoping for a free kick. So it's got one. Hopefully, absolutely spot on.
We have got one of the most experienced referees in the business today, as you would expect in Donald Turpin. And the injury just breaks up the play for a moment or two here. England's players rehydrating. Time starting to loom large for England. It will be the 11th time overall in the World Cup finals. It will only be the second time for Norway. On the other occasion, their very first game back in 1938, where they were beaten by Italy. It took a while before the physios came on to provide some treatment. And this 7 minutes of added time will extend somewhat further than that.
Well, the decision is that you get treatment on the bench, obviously they have to get off for a certain amount of time before you come back on again. But at stage in the game, a big decision. Really, he is struggling. So the challenge again, Rodgers there, both great challenge. They're wrapped up, Rodgers does just enough.
So Higgins going to be off the field here. Take the 3 minutes with John Stones in the 5th minute of added time. So one really good delivery from him. Since he came off the bench. Spence. There's a up against Archers. Will it really be a difference maker on his day? Emma Chiesa. Rodgers leaving it for Gay. Here's Stones. Reece James near side available. Turns down by Pedersen. In for Stones. A little flicked header off the forehead of Bellingham.
Yeah, very, very difficult chance there for Bellingham. What was the difficult one? Reaching for a long, long way away.
Extra time wouldn't be easy in these sort of conditions for either team. Very humid here in Miami. Time. Good header from John Stones. Oshler's with a head start on Eze. Referee gives the free kick.
Yeah, should strongly challenge there. There's the moment. Do not want to lose the game. Early. On the scores now. Most likely going to see it through. But it's very, very tough conditions here.
No surprise, really. I think we shouldn't be surprised that these two teams are going toe-to-toe right to the end.
I think they're sort of an element of measured approach as well. I mean, I'm not necessarily going to throw away this late, but they're certainly looking to try and push each other. So England look like the one with more on the front foot now in the last legs of this game.
Rich James up against the fit-footed figure of Antonio Anderson. Some time for a very late chance or two. Second, exactly how naturally.
It's an idiot to make a run behind, who's signaling for.
He tried to steal behind Hager, but then looked as if he tried to grab at Bellingham. Somebody looked as if he tried to challenge him here.
Yeah, I'm not for his good decision. I don't think he's not sure, is he? He was hitting it a couple of times in the referee, but he's going to go whistle or not. There's definitely contact. The question is how much. I think it just gets called out. It's not necessarily the hands, the follow through.
The right foot isn't there. He just catches the Achilles of Bellingham.
No. There's no drag there. That's not it.
That's an interesting decision for the referee VAR to look at.
Something that is being looked at in a way that makes the referee need to come across and look at it. They will carry on. Bellingham's back on his feet, back in the match. We've had over a minute, over and above our minimum allocation here of additional time at the end of the game. So it was quite a lengthy stoppage during added time. Spence able to reach him on the stretch. And this one is going to go the distance. On a hot and humid day in South Florida, these two sets of players are going to have to dig deep now for an additional 13 minutes. England didn't really get going in the second half to build on the momentum of their late first half equaliser from Jude Bellingham. Andreas Schellrup having put Norway ahead. Norway looked more likely, couldn't find a goal, had one disallowed. After 90 minutes, Norway won, England won. Extra time to follow.
What is that? They look kind of cute. The stories are true.
The story has just begun.
No.
These more up. Now play computers.
This is where my story begins. Overcoming every fear. But this is the moment I've been waiting for. Not here to play, but here to deliver. Because every step I take creates inspiration that connects the world. Inspiration connects us all.
Harry Potter, the broadcast audio editions. Listen on Audible.
efficiencies and transformational initiatives.
What's the score?
We're up 2-1.
Let's put it on the business.
Extra time on the way in Miami. 1-1 after 90 minutes between Norway and England.
Yeah, I think Norway's been the better side, but I think England started really dangerous because they brought it in the half. But Norway will feel a little hard done by. I'm looking at these players here after 90 minutes and trying to get revitalised in any way that they can. Early on, they were just absolutely exhausted, Kevin. Even when it come to Kane and trying to cool himself down, these conditions in Miami are brilliant and will have a big effect on the extra time.
I think the same, Steve. They looked on the field, both sides. He said it hard, and you could clearly see from the pictures just as he was walking out there. There's no life left in him. He's really struggling. A lot of the players will feel the same way. Right, just about one big push. If you can get through it, to just try and have one keep going. I didn't really the stage. I think you know you've got a lot of control of the game. The stage makes you score against them when the chance comes. You got to take it. But they look tired from their game against Mexico and they're out again in the heat in Miami. Really see this stuff there. Still to come a little later on tonight in Kansas City, Argentina against Switzerland. And whoever wins this one will then play against Argentina and Switzerland in the semi-final. Let's get you back inside the stadium in Miami for extra time. It was Sheldon giving Norway the lead in the 36th minute. Jude Bellingham tying it in first half stoppage time. It's 1-1. So we get to extra 30 minutes with Simon Belton, March Wilson.
It's always a different challenge with the conditions that they get into here. Very different like the next game. So I always happy with the result. We see both sides having to deal with an extreme heat. It's like a hard, it's head on the game.
That's Leo Ostergaard of Genoa, who is going to come on. He came off the bench in the last minute against Brazil last week. Got on in the opening match, the 4-1 win against Iraq, and he will come on to his talking on Heckel. Heckel was the player who thought he'd scored in the second half, but had it disallowed on VAR review for a foul which didn't involve him. And he was the player who was struggling with cramp there right at the end of the match. So Heckel off, and Ostergaard on to replace him. He too is a central defender, and he wins his 40-player cap tonight. And like so many of his players from Norway, has strong connections with the English game, a former right back, and Hungarian player who also had loaned to Stoke City and Portray City, played just over 50 matches in the Championship in England. As I mentioned before, currently in Italy. England will get us underway at the start of extra time. Could literally last team standing alone, Cuban night like this. Jude Bellingham ready to get the match underway. 1-1 in this World Cup quarter-final after 90 minutes. 30 more lie ahead. Cannot turn out the referee, waits for the signal, which is now given. And Jude Bellingham takes the kick, but Erling Haaland had ventured forward. The full start there by Norway's number 9.
Does a remarkable job. Erling Haaland is looking not so interested for large parts of the game, looking tired, looking fatigued, but we know.
You find that burst of pace from somebody who owns
turning around in a blink of an eye and can punish any team.
Well, like everyone, he's a little bit tired. He's not moving terribly freely actually at the moment. He was receiving a bit of treatment or a bit of a massage during the break between the end of the game and extra time, but it'll take a lot for him to come off the pitch, I'm sure. Jet Spence now for England into Eze. Holding off Oscar Bob. And the physical challenge of Oscar Bob. It's good play by Eze, superbly done. Collected by Micalo. England survives some anxious moments in the second half. and they take advantage of that now. All bouncing off Morgan Rogers up towards Haaland. Which James intercepts. Saka being faced by Pedersen. Pedersen standing his ground rather well, albeit at the expense of the corner.
There's one in the line. Second, ever so close to getting around him. All the dangerous walking across. That's a little bit up.
England supporters inside the stadium, thousands of them doing their best to lift their team, but they haven't had too much to cheer about for quite a long time in this match. Just trying to get to grips with Kane. Then it comes from Saka. Header away. There's a second. Saka again. It's Kane behind the far post. It's a save from here. Danger still not fully away and cleared by the Norwegian defence. Rhys James. Saka getting a taste for it now. To chase the marquee. Ezra is available for the pass. Anderson nearby too. Into Belling, into Morgan Rogers. Rogers, let's go!
Huge moment from Jude Bellingham. He's the quickest one to react. England persistent pressure. Ball after ball in the box. In the end, Morgan Rogers decides to take it. A touch, Micalo himself. And the goalkeeper, Milan, just never looked comfortable. And Bellingham really quick to react. It's a puncher's goal for England. And then next in front.
Big questions being asked of Norway now. We've got to pick themselves up off the canvas in this game. Here's the goal once more.
It's just persistent play. Rogers in the end decides to have a strike. We were not sure he's unsighted initially. Just never deals with it. And then Bellingham really quick to pounce. It's a simple tapping.
England took 154 seconds to score at the start of extra time. Odegaard looks to lead from the front and drag his team back into the game. Here's Patrick Berg. They're playing well today, Norway.
They did very, very well tactically. They got this one, they got spots on. Yes, they can't. Make a mistake, he's made a mistake. Can't hold on to it, or deal with it, get away from the danger area. They find themselves too long behind. However, not going to be knocked out of their stride. They're going to continue to play the same way. Odegaard's going to be in the heart of it. They've got big players, they're going to be knocking the ball long in the box. Don't be surprised if Haaland all of a sudden will find that burst of energy from somewhere.
England haven't been at their best, but now they do have a precious but slender advantage. Your time for Norway though here. Martin Odegaard. Archers wants it near side, but Norway's captain looks the other way. Picking up Berger, who sends it away to Musa. Well, there was a good sort of backs to the wall, digging in. Desperate defending from England at the Azteca last week. Are Norway going to ask similar questions here? England, of course, were down to 10 on that occasion. Oscar Ball. Quick and skillful. Spence is pretty fast too. Connected by Rogers to Anderson. Gain. Now Ezra. Jed Spence. Just for footing there. Bellingham. Spence gets a foot in. Kane wins it back. Renewed vigor about England now.
Yeah, good pressure. Really good pressure for England. Not seeing back. Really good pressure on the ball. Worked very, very hard. Miscommunication there. Jed Spence and Jude Bellingham otherwise. England could have been away down this left-hand side once again.
England fans desperately trying to roll their team over the line. Great sporting cathedral here in Miami, echoing to the cheers and encouragement of the England faithful. Always fans a little quiet for now, digesting the news of that goal, but still time for their team to come again. Odegaard. Erling Haaland looks tired. They just need one magical moment from him. Here comes Aya, now Boschness. Sunderberger, away from Jude Bellingham. Tidied up well there by Odegaard. Berger's slight risky there, encouraging Bellingham to apply the pressure.
Yeah, some tight legs out there. Now Norway for the first time have to try and chase this game. It's all in now to try and make something happen for England. Maybe just trying to win the ball, try to put pressure on, bring them on the counter attack, try and get that third goal. I'm not really going to push too many players forward just yet.
There's Berger. Trying to slide it through, looking for the run of Frederick Boschness. As a finds Bellingham, the chase is on the air and Rodgers is prepared to make it. Aya swiftly across, England will have a throw.
Yeah, it's good luck from Rodgers. Jude Bellingham does really like his pass on the left-hand side. That's what we need to do more of. The Norway, it's about trying to be very, very careful, very delicate with their possession. Don't give away the ball too easily because they're going to be punished. As the game goes on, they're going to be having to take more risks and that's what the game might even be looking at for the
Here to take us from the now game. Expense is going to test the legs of basketball going the other way here now, Jeff Spence. This is excellent play. The England fullback who's got the
Spence on his left-hand side. He looked up and he was one of the box. Doesn't say behind the run, as he just decides to go. So, once he gets up the pile and he cuts back inside, he just felt he had the upper hand on the ball. He just needed one touch. And the legs come together. You see the game. Spence just uses his strength, his pace, tripping on the ball. Time to see that being changed. There's a table of legs. Basketball just cannot get on the ball side.
key moment here. Obviously, the 3-1, it's an awfully long way back for Norway if the ball ends up in the back of the net. I mean, the penalty decision is still being checked by Gerald Brisard and the team.
Yes, it is. It's a big moment again for Norway, of course, both without saying for England. An extra bit of breathing space if they're able to convert the penalty. And for Norway, this is the moment where they're trying to hang on.
We're just going to have a look. That might not be great news for England.
Who was that?
So, Donald Turpin comes across. Are you surprised by that?
I'm a little bit surprised. I think there's just enough of a contact to warrant the referee give the decision. I don't think it's a very obvious mistake. I think it's a come together of legs. Spurs just on the wrong side each time. Jet Spence gets across the face. We'll see what the referee's decision is. Obviously, there's enough doubt in that room to suggest suggest the referee go over and check it. Ultimately, of course, it's the referee's call here.
After review, the attacker puts his leg in front of the defender, is out with any foul. So final decisions, no foul.
Yes.
Put his leg to his right in front of the defender, causing the contact in the view of the officials. Stays at 2-1. Norway is still right in it at 2-1.
Yeah, it's a big decision, big moment of the game.
Here it is again.
It's a huge lifeline for Norway.
Well, Norway have dodged one there, haven't they?
I believe they have, yeah. I think they'll find themselves very, very fortunate with that decision.
Still finally balanced here. Advantage for England. It's going to be England's ball. It was excellent play by Jed Spence to roam down the left-hand side and get on the way into the penalty area. Of course, such a problem for Norway's defence, created by Morgan Rogers. Early gets the foot in there. Also moves all the way to the far side. Marcus Pedersen. Bit of room in midfield for Patrick Berg, for Sander Berger. Will Norway be buoyed by that decision, just as they thought they were up against it, facing a penalty and the possibility of a 3-1 deficit here in extra time? Irish ball forward, England's bench claiming that there was a handball. Odegaard, tracked by Morgan Rogers. Harshness. Now ball. Good ball.
Yeah, brilliant. Really good defending. Does so well. His claims are a handball, but I think he does really well. I think he gets his hands down by his side.
Bill Hinton crap kicking in there. That was a big old stretch for Gay to put that one.
Yeah, it was. It was really good defending.
Kept his hands out of the way. No suggestion of a handball there, as you say.
There's a lot of space into the box for Norway. England set up very, very deep in this corner.
Latter stages of the first period of extra time. Patrick Berg to take for Norway. Everyone back here for England, queuing up to get it away. John Stones with his head on the ball. Norway will have to build again. Berger. Oceans. Musa. Odegaard. Norway looking to finish this first period of extra time strongly and come roaring back. Oceans. Comfortable for Jordan Pickford. We're going to have 3 additional minutes at the end of extra time here. This is Eze. Norway's ball. Eze felt that he was fouled. He's not the only one. Thomas Tuchel there.
Yeah, I think it was a decent decision. The referee Eze does really well initially, just to keep control of that ball. It's a little bit like from Jordan Pickford. In the end, just can't keep it in his grasp.
Just going into that minimum of 3 additional minutes here. First period of extra time, harshness. Spencer in the block. Tussle between the pair. Terrific block of harshness. Anderson's there covering. He's got Mark Gale on his side. Kane. Spence. Measured play for England. Very composed.
Keep on football, make Norway run for it, spread the game out a little bit more.
So it's just going to play in their favour in these conditions in particular.
Excellent for all the watches there, and Spence is venturing forward once more. There is not quite enough on that one to pick up. Birmingham, the header clear by Ayer, away off the Gutenberg, going as far as Anderson. Space for Saka. Anderson. Motionless under pressure. Ezra with support on the near side. Lager offside.
That's that game management now for England. Can they keep on with it? Can they keep their shape? Frustrate Norway for Norway. It's about trying to create that one chance. Certainly for their main man. Can he get on the end of something? Can he get in a position where he gets a good shot off on goal?
That's a good ball from Jude Bellingham into Bukayo Saka. And I put it onto that left foot. And a shot over the top there from Jude Bellingham. Nimble-footed from the referee to keep out of the way there.
Definitely some time leads out there. They've still got at least 15 minutes to go.
Well, I think the trip to the Azteca was pretty draining for England, wasn't it, in their last game as well? Very different circumstances and conditions that night. Norway playing in the heat in New Jersey, getting the better of Brazil in the round of 16. That's excellent from Bukayo Saka. Reece James is looking for a barrier, so one diversion, falling in the feet of Kane. That's not good news for Norway potentially. And the referee blows for half-time in extra time. England are 15 minutes away from the semi-finals of the World Cup. Thanks to a second goal of the match from that man there, their number 10, Jude Bellingham. At the break, in extra time in Miami, it's Norway 1, England 2. Bellingham's 2 goals today, taking him up to 6 for the tournament, joining Harry Kane on that number. That's never happened before in the history of the World Cup. 2 players from the same team scoring that number of goals, and nobody in an English show has ever scored more than 6 goals in a single World Cup. There's the chart at the top of the table. Kylian Mbappe, he's got some assists, unlike Lionel Messi. And here's the goal which currently separates the 2 sides.
It's the quick one. He's the one that quickly reacts out of anyone. And he's on like a flash. Really celebrating. Big moment. What could turn out to be the winner for England. They're certainly in the boxing at the moment, but a lot of football being played in Norway. I'm not going to give up without a fight.
So back in there, no doubt, reminding his players down in their huddle in front of the dugout that there is plenty of football to be played, and we might be about to see Jürgen Strand Larsen before long. He looks good and ready to go.
Very interested to see who he replaces.
Haaland is going to come off. Now, he looked, and we noted, he looked as if he was struggling in the first period of extra time.
Yeah, you maybe sort of felt like that would be the case. It did look very laboured in that first half of extra time. Looked like he was really struggling.
So we're about to see Jürgen Strand Larsen, I think. These days of Crystal Palace of the Premier League, having moved from Wolverhampton Wanderers this year. But no confirmation of that move as of yet. There is His Royal Highness Prince Haakon, Crown Prince of Norway, watching on. Here comes the change. It's a big one for Norway. All that sap their morale with Jürgen Strand Larsen, as good a player as he is, clearly, coming on for the talisman at number 9.
Micalo. Lots of fresh legs, isn't there? I mean, you see Haaland there was very ineffective in the first half of extra time. Could hardly move, so having someone with legs up front gives them something to aim for, target man, and someone who can do things.
So the 2-1 Norway is still right in the game.
They are, yeah. I think they got very, very fortunate in that first half of extra time. But I think they're still in it. They've got to go for it in this second half of extra time. Nothing to lose now.
Well, those Norwegian players G each other up for the final 15 minutes of the game. Harry Kane has been in conversation with the referee, so just looking for a little bit more clarity about that penalty decision. Kane was getting ready to tee it up, I think.
Yeah, I think we were very unlucky with that decision. I can see why. Well, I understand the referee said in his explanation. I think it's just a little bit unfortunate for him not to get that penalty and certainly for Norway. That is a lifeline.
Norway have got 15 minutes to try to save their World Cup ambitions. England, as it stands, will be heading to Atlanta and the semi-final. Argentina or Switzerland will provide the opposition for today's winners here in Miami. And in case you're wondering, yes, it's still pretty humid here, just as it was at the start of the match. 7:30 in the evening local time. All of the good of Sanderberg. It's going to be a desperate struggle this last 15 minutes. Berg being roared on by his head coach on the touchline. Into Oscar Bob, and now it's Nusa looking to give them a springboard right at the start of the second period of extra time. It was cleared away by John Stones. Down goes Jude Bellingham.
Yeah, that's right. John Stones is also struggling with cramps as he clears that ball. It's in a perfect position. Jude Bellingham, see there, just gets a little bit late.
Not quite the evening that he was hoping for so far. One can only watch now and hope that his team can claw their way back here. Rice smile for his dad. It's been a tough attritional contest. James in the throw, looking for Micalo Saka. Free kick for Norway.
Saka just clips as the guys he's going through. So that, of course, makes it very, very obvious for a referee. A long ball on this end for England. Obviously, they'll be happy on Norway. They need to get the ball back up. Into England's half. Try and put some pressure on the England goal.
Shoving the back there on Anderson potentially. Referee says not enough for a free kick. Get up and get on with the game. Barshness keeps it clear of Saka. And it is Østigard. Most of the players down there running on fumes by now. Running on fumes of desire.
Yeah, it's a game that was always going to be tough because of the conditions. Obviously, going to extra time makes it that little bit more difficult for them. Once we've managed the game better, play individually, get someone step up from Norway, get that final equaliser. Can England find someone who can win the game for them?
Hamilton Sanderberg. Was a good run made by Pedersen into the penalty area there. This is Oscar Ball. Patrick opens up for the shot. Fizzing over the top of the crossbar.
Just couldn't control the game, just opened up for him. Massive space opened up. Saw it. Jets Prince is the one that gets across at the end. His challenge is probably just enough before we try and get a bit more on it.
Yeah, his challenge might have saved the day there for England. Anxious moments for the English fans in the crowd. Anderson goes beyond Bellingham. Norway trying to come on strong here. England with Harry Kane away from Lucy. He's got Saka on the near side. Eza is well forward as well, up to the edge of the box. Saka being closed down by Aya. Brilliant play from Micalo. Saka. All that was missing there was the finishing flourish.
Yeah, sorry to be saw the goal just open up.
Spence has done really well to win it back. It's still got Spence, and still goes to the opening. Here comes Saka. Oh, and you have to keep Norway in it at 2-1.
Double save from the goalkeeper. Really quick to react after he spills the initial shot from Jet Spence. But England trying to go for that third goal and give themselves extra breathing space.
Reece James. I just get the feeling that maybe a goal there from either of those two shots and it might have been curtains for Norway. Saka. Referee's going to bring the game back. We're going to have a late change here. Dan Burn is going to come on for England. Jude Bellingham, I think, has given everything that he's got.
So the chance from Jet Spence. It's a good shot from edge of the box. And Leland does well. Get down behind it. His powering just goes straight to Saka. I think his recovery, his second save, his top pass just makes himself so big. It does come from his initial mistake.
Jude Bellingham is coming off. Rapturous applause around the stadium for him. Another excellent performance on the biggest stage of all. And here is Bellingham scoring his second of the match and the goal which separates the two sides. He's in good company as well, Jude Bellingham. He's the first player to score back-to-back braces in knockout games of the World Cup since Diego Maradona back in 1986.
That's impressive. He was a great man himself. Jude Bellingham has been excellent for England in this tournament today. There's no exception.
So Dan Burn came on in Mexico last week and on to add some defensive steel and presence to England's back line for what remains. Scored by Odegaard and Burn is there. Headed by Reece James, on by Micalo Saka.
They're changing formation for England back three with Stones Gay in the middle, Dan Burn on the left side. Effectively in defence, five at the back.
That was excellent from Reece James, never less than solid and sturdy, but Bellingham had a double today. 2 goals to add to the 2 they got last week in Mexico, 6 for the tournament now. England inching towards the semi-finals, but far from there. Still time for Norway to go again. They had the better of much of the second half of the regulation 90. We're in the 113th minute of this game. Oscar Ball. Martin Odegaard. The Norwegian nation looks to their captain and number 10 to provide the inspiration here. Musa into Bergen. Here's Odegaard. England deep, tuck in. Norway looking to try and prize them open. Musa maybe with a little hint of an opportunity here. Deflection coming off Reece James. And it's going to be a corner.
Yeah, there's one line battles for England in the start stage of the game. With one nudge to them defensively. This is a real handful. Comes in, always looking to come on inside with his right foot, trying to curl over that far post there. Reece James was aware of the danger. Still got a big enough foot. I was wondering, is England going to be seen more camped in their own half, with going to 3 at the back, being more defensive, trying to hang on.
The header away. Oh,
aggressive in the players, make a charge towards him. It's too far underneath, but it's still there. Unfortunate, not talking to the corner there.
Looked like a foul on Kane. It was almost relieved to be shut by Christopher Aya. Sanderberger has it. Little over 5 minutes remaining, plus any additional time. Lucy wants it inside. Bosch is available as well. It's short-sighted with Pedersen's in more familiar territory on the far side. And it comes from Bergard, Strand Larsen going for it. Rhys James is there. Does he get the deflection? I think he does. It's going to be a goal kick for Jordan Pickford, and the clock is ticking, and England will be happy with that.
Yeah, managed well in the second half of extra time. Just defended well, compact, but also put pressure on the ball. They just can't sit deeper. They have to put pressure on the ball. Otherwise, they just allow Norway to get the ball in the box, and then it becomes a really 50-50 challenge. Norway obviously got some big players.
Anderson doing his best to try and win a throw, which hasn't worked out. Patrick Burke good against Rogers. Was thinking of blowing and does rethinking Norway. Try to play advantage.
Rogers going to play the ball. Unfamiliar role, so a deeper midfielding role, has to try and help out. At times, Anderson has worked tirelessly in this game.
We were in the last 5 minutes of extra time here. That was a foul by Rhys James on Antonio Musa.
There's one thing you don't want to be doing against this Norway. Norwegian side is keeping away free kicks and dangerous areas. They're going to load the box. Now it's up to them. They're going to have to get that really good delivering the ball in the box, putting them under pressure.
Well, it's likely that Norway are going to get a chance between now and the final whistle, you would think. Gilbert Strand Larsen leading their attack now that Erling Haaland has gone off. Bergard delivers, Pickford comes through and gets there. Strong punch from the England goalkeeper is on the deck as a result of it.
Yeah, you can see the Norwegian players are upset because they believe it's a coming together of Pickford and his own player. I'm not sure if John Stones or not. It's not coming together.
Eyes in the book for his reaction. Pickford stays down. Norway's players are very frustrated.
That's Morgan Rogers, there you go. That's why they're frustrated. He's colliding with the player. The problem is that once the goalkeeper's down, the referee's got to stop playing. I'm not sure that the referee's giving a free kick for whether he's just stopped playing.
Rogers did want to still be standing after that one, Mark.
He did.
It's absolutely clouted by his goalkeeper.
Yeah, we'll see whether it's what the decision was by the referee. I think it's a good ball. I think they'll restart. That's why there's frustration. Okay, it's a correct decision. Once the goalkeeper goes down, the referee's got to blow his whistle.
Lots going on, but here's the challenge once again. And Norway's players, yeah, quite right. He collided with his own player there, Jordan Pickford.
Yeah.
It was the reaction of Christopher Aya, the manner of it, which led to his yellow card.
Yeah, but they got possession again, they restart, and then they some stops with it, but the referee's left with no alternative, he has to know. He'll stop the play.
Here's Newsom, is trying to find that opening, and Rhys James is there for him, connecting on in a touch, and he will get the throw. It's going to be England's ball. Just what they needed at this stage of proceedings as we head towards the 118-minute mark. In extra time, when they know time is running short, those Norwegian fans, among a crowd of almost 64,500. Packed in here. Strand Larsen looking for Lucy. More defending for England to do. Flag up far side, England's ball.
Yeah, England keeping their line. Rhys James doesn't really like to readjust. And the ball a little bit better. Lucy may have been in, but looks like a straight offside. It's a tight one.
John Stones needs this game to end in the next couple of minutes. He keeps sort of slowly stretching, trying to keep crowd at bay here.
I bet he's the only player on the pitch who's feeling the heat, feeling the conditions. I still want to fight up, but hold on. England and Norway just have to keep pushing. Keep knocking on that ball, keep trying to find a way to win this. England defence.
Came down after the challenge with Aya. Another stoppage in play. And Aya will need to just keep control of his frustration here, having just got in the referee's book moments before. Arsenal's with the throw. They've got to get the ball forward. Interception by Anderson. In towards Eza. Keeps it clear of Oscar Ball. Jed Spence nearby. Dan Burn as well. And it's with the Newcastle defender now. We are heading towards a minimum of 2 additional minutes. And the interception there by Frederick Larsnes. 20 seconds remain of the 120 minutes. The additional time is very much on the horizon here now. England getting closer to the semi-final. Not quite over the line yet. But they've got the ball.
Yeah, it's been brilliant. Jed Spence's goal has been excellent for England as well on the left-hand side. He has run tirelessly. He's been so good.
We are into a minimum of 2 additional minutes here. Morgan Rogers trying to use up a few more precious seconds. Norway's World Cup dream hanging by a thread.
At the moment, Norway, you see them, the body language at the moment, they just walk down, they look like they're flat. Just still got time, they've got to keep pushing. It's about, isn't it happy? More than happy with the ball being at this end.
What a ride it has been. Is it about to come to an end? They have to get it forward and they have to do it now. But they just can't get the ball off England.
John Stones is struggling still. What the ball he really wanted to try and deal with.
Pickford goes long. Yes, he's up for it. Collected here by Patrick Bird. Roughly 45 seconds for Norway to score a sensational equalising goal. Otherwise, it's going to be England's day. Header forward by Harry Kane. Collected by Barry Eza. Superb play by Eza. Then just lets it get away off his boots. It's now or never for Norway. Ireland leads the charge. Musa venturing forward in towards Oscar Ball, challenged by Jed Spence. Brilliant defending by Spence. That might be enough for England. They want to hear the final whistle, but on we go. Neelan sends the ball forward. Big header from Dan Burn. You'd expect nothing less.
That's right. Dan Burn is on the bench today against Mexico. It's doing it again against Norway. This is those stages.
That's it. England are heading for Atlanta. They have Georgia on their minds and a World Cup semi-final to look forward to. On the back of Jude Bellingham's 2 goals. But they were ready to work hard for it. By an inspired Norway side who've had a magnificent World Cup on their return to the global stage for the first time since 1988. For a while it looked as if it might be their day, but it wasn't to be. England prevailed after extra time. Jude Bellingham made the difference with a goal late in the first half. And then right at the start of extra time, it was too much for Norway to come back. England hopped in Haaland. Norway could get the better of Bellingham. They beat Brazil, but it's all over for Norway. They will be rowing home tonight. It has finished Norway 1, England 2.
You saw Neil there in tears. We talked pre-game about how well he'd done in this tournament, but not happy from the fact that he was at fault for that winning goal.
Yeah, he was at fault, and he said that we need to remember such a cool game. It just changes for you in an instant. And at this stage of the tournament, it's very fine margins. Norway will feel had them by the full out. They're probably the better side overall, but England full game, last game was more important than Bellingham. You can see Bellingham going, oh, God, what a match, what a game. 2 moments, Kev, 2 moments.